then. In our grandparents' times, okay, amps went to 11. It was
That
a
is
different
true.
time.
They were constantly calling everybody Jack and a piece of work and whipping a bottle at a cat for fun.
You know
They
what
were
they did to
good
Ghost?
people.
They brought television in and tried to summon them for their own entertainment back in the 70s and 60s.
I think we can all
demanding that the Ghost perform like Michigan J. Frog.
That would be pretty dope, though.
1870s or the 1970s?
Both. Listen.
Made a comeback
because the
Jason,
1970s had some more technology.
If you want to see a ghost dance like a Michigan J. Frog, I can make it happen.
It is. Is it a weird secular thing that every 100 years in every century 70s there's another seance thing with new technology? Yeah,
I think
seance revival,
maybe
resurrection.
Maybe it takes 100 years for people to get interested in it again. Yeah. I wouldn't use a Ouija board. You guys know this about me. I'm not placing my hands on that.
I've used one. Stefan,
I have one within
said
arm's
he did
length
get haunted
right
a little bit.
No,
I've got to say the Ouija board. I feel like the 1970s.
Sure.
The Ouija board.
Parker Brothers presents.
But how is that any different than a modern ghost box? Right.
True, and speaking boards in general have been around for fucking centuries.
And it's not supposed to be a high technology. It's just something you can do. So why not the game board?
Yeah.
But at that time, the swastika also meant something different.
This is true. We want to talk to a ghost. What's your favorite swastika, ghost? This is all going to change. This is all going to hopefully change by the next century. So until 2070,
how quickly we forget.
But truly, until 2070, when we'll be, that's the version of contacting ghosts I want to see. I want to see the ghost mask that they put on and jack into the ghost web and play video games with their undead grandpa in San Junipero. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, actually members of the Dark Council only, welcome to this particular Grave Nugget featuring Jason Cordova, special guest of the week. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you.
Everybody's clapping. Please be seated.
If you're listening to this in the main timeline, we recorded this in September. All right. Dark Council members are getting all of this information, all of these tips 3 months earlier than you. So, think about joining that Patreon, become a Dark Council member, stay alive sooner than later.
Stay alive long enough to hear this.
What are we talking about? What flavor is that Grave Nugget today, squad?
Well, in honor, this is being recorded Labor Day weekend, so this is the flavor of blood, sweat, and fears.
Oh, well done.
These are
Phil. Welcome to the room. By the way,
welcome, Phil Gordo.
Shut up.
This is ghosts found in various factories. These are people that even after death were not allowed time off.
God, no. Oh boy.
Let's not forget what Labor Day is really about, right?
Truly. Yeah.
Workers rights.
Seize the means of possession, ghosts.
so much so that I was not allowed to work Labor Day because the conference is starts on Tuesday.
Oh, no shit.
Going on Labor Day, so I was trying to trade time off. I'll just work on Monday and have Tuesday off. No. The Labor Day, you have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot work on Labor Day.
Yeah, the socialist roots of Labor Day would ruin a lot of weekends at Lake Havasu. I'll say that much. If they decided to pay attention to the truth of it. But you know what? Enjoy the weekend.
Enjoy it, middle managers who suck up to their overseeing. Okay, anyway, that's a different podcast.
We're just fucking beating the shit out of this fictional person.
This middle management Dilbert type. Fuck you, Scott Adams.
Oh, dude.
Mamma mia.
We need a Colorado mining town, brutal Western,
Truly.
story. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's hear about the factory ghosts. Are these all from Colorado?
No, they're
it's just Ludlow stories over and over again.
These are from all around.
Okay.
I don't think I found any from Colorado, but there certainly are plenty. If you look into it.
We'll talk about Ludlow massacre ghost and the great mining riots that happened in this state. Some other episode.
If I die and I become a ghost that is haunting the subway where I had my first job, I need you to end it. I need you to catch me and free me. I can't be a ghost who's locked into any of my jobs, really.
Yeah.
We will shatter your soul into 1,000 toppings.
Preferable.
Spread them across the world.
Preferable than working at Best Buy or Subway.
That is a particularly brutal doom space
Yes.
to haunt your job.
There's hell on earth, and then there's hellish eternity on earth.
Truly.
And that's worse than both.
Indeed. All right, what do you got for the people, Nate?
First up is the Cape Fear meat packing plant in Wilmington, North Carolina.
They pack good meat.
They pack good
used
fear.
Some of the finest fear in the country comes from Cape Fear.
This 100-year-old slaughterhouse, which closed down in the early 1920s and was demolished just this past year, was described as one of the most state-of-the-art abattoirs in the country at the time. It was good packed meat.
Apparently.
Yeah, there was a time in this country when there was actually like good packed meat. It wasn't all like the worst bottom of the barrel.
What a wonderfully modern kill house you've built.
You know, I mean, the Green Bay Packers are named for a meat packing
We're packing
thing.
They love to pack.
That makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking.
So what's happening in the meat packing factory?
This looming 6-story structure that sat abandoned on the bank of Cape Fear for decades was allegedly haunted by the ghost of the soon-to-be bankrupt Cape Fear Packaging Company owner, who hanged himself in the middle of the building.
Oh, wow.
And later on, a teenager jumped off the top to kill himself.
Oh, okay. Boy,
back when child labor laws weren't a thing, it sounds like.
Cool ghosts.
a 6-year-old middle manager who worked at the factory.
Had too much stress one day, couldn't take his job.
The guy killing himself in the middle of the factory floor, that's a real 20s move, you know?
It's a fucking now move, man. Give it 6 months.
I think nowadays they bring a gun.
Yeah, exactly. But then
they're not going alone.
I was thinking the Amazon quiet rooms. Like, this is a dark thing.
Yeah.
But every time I see it, I go, man, I'd fucking kill myself in that room. Ruin it for everyone.
Wow.
God.
Yeah,
I make sure that's the room I'm
with a black light.
That's finesse. Like that's some that brings some that carries weight.
I know, right? That's a statement. Yo, you just wait. These fucking Amazon fulfillment centers are going to be packed with ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
That's the rest. Like, that's the rest in a piece of music, right?
Yeah.
Let you really sink it in. You know?
Just really figure it out.
Why are meatpacking plants never haunted by the animals?
I don't think they want to hang around.
Packed into the meat.
Next up, Olivesburg Quarry and Manufacturing Plant in Richland County, Ohio.
Ohio.
The manufacturing plant on Route 545 near Olivesburg used to form metal rods out of molten iron and produce cement blocks for railroad construction projects. It's said that in the 1940s, a large iron kettle chain broke and poured molten metal onto 5 workers. All 5 workers died slow, painful deaths immersed in iron. The plant's been closed down for years, but it's said that the spirits of the 5 workers will speak to you if you visit on specific nights.
Tuesdays is Joe's night. Thursday, Fred's.
First Thursdays of every month.
Yeah, it's one guy for every day of the week.
I honestly, this would make our job a lot easier if the ghosts could post a comic schedule or something. Just where they'll be what night.
This one's pretty solid. The Peters Cartridge Company building in King Mills, Ohio.
Well, that one you're asking for ghosts.
Constructed in the 1860s, this massive munitions manufacturing complex originally made bullets and cannonballs for the Union Army during the Civil War.
Whoa, and tested them.
Did they? In fact, the Peters Cartridge Company building saw the production of bullets and explosives for more than a century until it was shuttered in the late 1950s. It's indisputable that many workers lost their lives in the many industrial accidents, explosions, and fires
Good
caused
God.
by the munitions industry. This one I had to go look more into.
Yeah.
So this thing is blown up numerous times.
Where do you work? The explosion factory.
The Acme
Yeah.
money is on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
This is from a different article. This is the subtitle is "A Past Plagued by Death." The Peters Cartridge Company opened for business in 1887 and thrived for more than 50 years. At its height, it employed 3,000 people who worked around the clock to create ammunition shipped to U.S. allies in both world wars and several other global conflicts. Historians said the company owes its success to founder Gershom Moore Peters, a Baptist minister who held at least 35 patents and invented the world's first fully automatic cartridge loading machine. He's a minister who made weapons, which seems weird. Feels like you're asking for some sort of satanic intervention.
He's definitely prepping for the war with hell.
Peters entered the ammo industry when he started working for the King Powder Company in 1881. He married the daughter of King Powder's founder, Joseph Warren King, and after King's death in 85, Peters took over as president. 2 years later, he opened the Peters Cartridge Company at the site along the Little Miami River, a short distance away from its King Powder parent company. Together, both factories helped Peters thrive in a growing munitions business. Then the fire happened.
Oh, no.
I like stories that go, and then the fire.
On July 15th, 1890, railroad negligence caused 2 loaded railway cars to collide near the Peters Cartridge factory, triggering an explosion that killed 12 people. The blast and ensuing fire also destroyed the railroad station, the freight house, 2 office buildings, the shell factory, the cartridge loading plant, a large warehouse, and the homes of 6 employees. Peters later rebuilt the plant on the other side of Grandin Road.
He wanted another one, huh?
The Little Miami Scenic Trail.
Considering the first one went so well.
This time I've learned, Jordan. I've learned where I failed in the past.
Ridiculous.
Over the next half a century, more than 10 other explosions rocked the area, killing 21 more people and injuring dozens. A blast at the nearby King Powder Company in 1942 was so intense, newspapers at the time reported the shockwave shattered windows as far as 30 miles away in
Good God.
So what you're saying is that a lack of regulations plus capitalism equals results.
There's no way that 30
miles
away,
man.
30 miles away.
Windows
that's like
exploded. Yes.
Yeah, aren't you like safe from an atomic bomb at like 12 miles?
I mean, the radiation still gets you,
but
survive
but how are my windows? I don't know. I'm just saying there was a lot more glass shattering in the past. A lot of people were like, every you can walk 3 blocks without seeing an opera lady like shattering a wine glass.
A lot more opera.
A lot more opera. That's true. A lot more opera ladies.
You're going to enjoy this next part.
Great.
Taft Broadcasting later bought the King Powder site and used part of the land to build the King Island Amusement Park.
Whoa. Which is also incredibly haunted. Must be.
Remington Arms Company, an American firearms manufacturer founded in Ilion, New York, purchased the Peters factory in 1934 and continued running the plant through most of World War II. The factory finally closed in July 1944 and was sold months later to Columbia Records, which used the space to create phonograph records. It was bought by Seagram's later and is currently, of course, a site for a brewery and some high-end, like shitty condos.
Spirits, you might say?
Yes, some spirits indeed.
And condos to house the spirits.
Well, what else do we have?
Well, the Remington people who bought that one happen to be the next one in this list. The Remington Arms Remington Arms Ammunition and Components Plant in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Perhaps the most famous haunted manufacturing facility on our list today is the old Remington Arms Plant. Comprised of 38 buildings over 73 acres, the massive Remington factory was one of the largest ammo plants in the world. But industrial accidents were commonplace in factories at large, such as the 1942 explosion that claimed the lives of 7 people, injured 80 others, and shot countless bullets through nearby buildings and neighborhoods.
Jesus.
Dude.
Guys!
The Remington plant is
the people that
haunted.
bought
Less well known than the Winchester Mansion.
True.
No less haunted.
Closed in 1986, the Remington Arms building is now patrolled by the Bridgeport police, who have seen moving shadows, heard disembodied voices and screams, and witnessed other unexplainable events.
Dude, the poor bastard cop who has to fucking take that beat.
He's probably like some fucking third string moron. Like, Mosley, you got the ghost factory again.
But like when you join the police, let's say even the most like beneficial way, you're like, I'm gonna clean up the city, and then you're just going to the haunted building.
With
someone's
got
to patrol
factory.
it. Yep.
Yeah, that's I mean those are scary ghosts. Those ghosts have guns. That's an extra layer of danger that I don't think you would expect.
I was just kind of blown away that like this one article doesn't mention it, but Remington purchased the exploding cartridge factory.
It was
and also
exploding
had
when they
their
signed
own...
the lease.
He saw it was such a fantastic explosion that he wanted in on the action.
I want to make a 40-mile explosion.
I'll make a bigger explosion. Bigger than anyone's ever seen.
There are, of course, a bunch of ghosts related to the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. That's now the Brown Building at NYU.
Oh, yeah.
People, doors open and close, slam shut. There is, let me find it. There's a specific story about a ghost named Susan who walks around the Brown Building and rattles door handles as if she's trying to escape and cannot, which is pretty terrifying.
That
if
is
you know
super
about
terrifying.
all the people that burn to death or jump to their deaths.
Oof.
Due to a lack of fire safety in the
Triangle
building.
Shirt
Well,
Company.
due to having been locked into the 8th floor of the
Yeah.
building,
Okay,
so
fair
they
enough.
could work all day, and the only escape was jumping to their deaths out the window.
Yikes.
There's also the Piquettes, I believe it's called.
The what?
The Ford Piquette Avenue plant, which is now a Ford museum, has all kinds of cool ghosts. People just slamming of doors that should be held open by like fire ropes, things of that nature, things that shouldn't be able to happen.
Sure.
There's a ghostly Magneto girl.
Why not? Throw that in the mix now.
What do you mean?
So this is from the Detroit Free Press. The most consistent story, Sisoy Moore, that's the name of the person talking about the story, said she heard came from the female Piquette Plant Museum staff members. Many of the women reported feeling like they were not alone, like someone was watching them, even though they were the only ones in the plant.
Wow.
It wasn't a scary or leery feeling. It was just like they were not alone, even though there was no one else working, Sisoy Moore said. They all said, I'd feel like someone was there, and I'd turn around expecting to see someone, and no one was there. But they said it never felt like it was malevolent. The connection to female staff could lie in the plant's unusual history with women. Not as weird as you think it's going to be.
Go on.
In late 1905, Henry Ford and one of his engineers, Edward Spider Huff, started hiring women to help make the magneto flywheels used to help power the cars.
Oh.
It's very delicate work to make them, and Henry and Spider felt women could do it, and because they had smaller hands.
Okay.
So they hired the Magneto girls, who had to work in a separate area of the factory away from the men. They were all together in a room. They had a lot of pride in what they were doing and felt a sisterhood. Now that area of the museum apparently is sort of haunted by the good
camaraderie
vibes of the women.
Yeah.
Wow. See, now that rocks.
The Magneto girls.
Yeah, see, when
Yeah.
I was thinking also Magneto girls, I thought it was this set of women who were, moving the car parts with their
Sure,
magnetic
who had the
powers.
ability to put cars together with their magnet powers. Yeah, I understand. I was there too.
Yes. All right. Not that
but-
this story is any worse now because it's still fire. That's a great story.
That is a great story, specifically because it's a ghost story that you don't hear very often, which is the ghost of a great time. And people talk about it. They talk about hearing parties and they talk about like seeing people like dancing and stuff, but I like it. I like to think, see, this has got me all turned around. Maybe it would be nice to hang out with some of my old work friends.
Maybe also like, I don't know, is there a malevolence about that at all? Like there's no kind of like...
Good question.
They specifically say it's not malevolent. They just feel like someone's in there with them and they get weirded out, but it's not.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's no associated dread.
Very cool.
That dude Spider Huff also may be hanging around.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say you don't have a name like Spider and not end up a ghost in a factory.
So they're talking about a secret room that Ford had where they would develop stuff. Cisamore said this could be the ghost of any one of half dozen people Ford allowed in the secret room, including Ford's engineer Spider Huff. Huff was a hard-drinking rabble-rouser who'd go on benders and disappear for days.
Yeah.
But he would come back. He would come back with the slickest car body design.
Unbelievable. Yeah, this guy.
He didn't even a Ford factory, Henry Ford factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even remember it. He would black out and wake up with the blueprints.
Just blueprints
I just
for
made
the
a
Spider.
Model H.
You've done it again, Spider.
Now wash up. You smell like cigarettes and vomit.
and a certain quantity of spider webs.
7, I think.
Huff was a bit crazy too. He would hang off the side of a car when Henry Ford would race, acting as a counterbalance. Finally, he once got drunk and crashed a boat into the main dock at the Detroit Yacht Club.
Fuck yeah. You don't even make boats here.
There's a quote from Cecil Morgan. If I had to guess who's haunting the factory, he'd be my number one guess. He was such a crazy guy in real life. He'd get a kick out of the fact that the factory's now a museum. So playing tricks on people would be something he'd love to do.
Wow.
Plus she said these guys might have made it, but Henry Ford was forgetting to cash checks and Spider was still getting drunk at the yacht club and crashing boats. These guys were working class poor who made it rich. So if they were going to haunt anything, it wouldn't be their mansion. It'd be the factory they worked in.
That's a good point. Weird. Interesting.
Got to cash checks. What a insurmountable wealth none of us would know.
Look, another $10,000 fell out of my waistcoat. That's the most
unbelievable thing of this story. They didn't cash their check.
I know. Money was different back then. Okay.
So yeah, that's those are some of the many ghosts you can find in factories around the turn of the American century.
Haunted factories in the U.S. Thank you so much for joining us, Dark Council members. Shout out A from Beyond, Phil Corridor, kicking it in the room. Thank you so much for joining us, Jason Cordova, of course. Check out. Why don't you tell the people about the event that's coming up this week so they can check it out?
Well, since for the Dark Council members have the benefit of hearing this as it's airing, we are holding the International UFO Congress, one of the largest Guinness Book of World Records holding largest UFO gathering in North America.
Right here on Earth. You'd think it would be in space.
Actually, here I am at Congress headquarters here in Phoenix, Arizona. And,
there you
go. I've got Mr. Al Ian behind me, picking it up. We've got a great lineup. Come check it out. Goes from the 8th to the 12th, completely online. Go to the ufocongress.com for the details.
Hell yeah.
And go from there. If you're listening to this in the
future,
it'd be December probably.
In December, go back to ufocongress.com and check out what's there. Get ready
Yeah.
for next year.
It's still up.
And like, there's all kinds of cool merch and lots of cool stuff you can.
Heck yeah, they're gonna archive all of the stuff, so you can check it out.
Buy them on
If
DVDs
you like-
if you still do DVD.
Mhm.
You can.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Support local, or not support local, but just
What do we-
support the UFO paranormal scientific community.
Support local spookiness.
Support local spookiness. And local can be, on this in the solar system.
On this planet, yeah, Earth, go Earth. Check out the International UFO Congress. It's going to be a hell of a time. Also follow Jason on Twitter at Crypto Science Society. If you like what we do here, you love what they do over there, and we kind of partner a lot, so it'll be a great time. Anything else that we need to tell the people?
We miss you. We love
Miss
you.
We
We
hope
hope
you had
everything's
an
doing fine.
excellent Labor Day, and
Yeah.
we hope that you, I don't know, went on strike.
Yeah,
and
we hope you don't end
now
up a
have
ghost in a
reasonable
factory.
wage.
Yeah,
If I think it comes out when it does, maybe Happy Hanukkah.
yeah, why
Well,
not?
right now, Rosh Hashanah's coming up.
Happy Rosh Hashanah too.
Yeah.
Happy
Unless
Rosh
you're listening to this in 3 months, then forget
What if-
about the whole thing.
Yeah, then forget about that part.
Whatever the nearest high holiday is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just happy high holiday and
Um,
Christmas too. Happy
never-
Christmas.
I-
No
we-
Christmas.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay.
We're a Yule family, please. A lot of fire, a lot of blood.
Solstice and equinox.
Solstice
Yep,
and
yep.
equinox. That's for me.
Convergence.
Happy
Exactly.
convergence.
Happy convergence to one and all. Keep watching the skies. Okay, y'all. Until next time, thank you so much for once again joining us on this. Oh, geez, what is it? It's kind of a
What flavor, huh?
thalidomide and bakelite flavored grave nugget. All kinds of factory runoff flavored grave nugget. Until
a
next
umami
week.
Flavor of screams of men dying in molten steel.
The flavor of commerce.
Help out a labor ghost if you can.
Help out a labor ghost if you
Support
see
your ghost
one.
union.
Help
Support your
'em.
human union.
Help them get to where they need to be.
Exactly. Listen, you don't have a strong ghost union without a strong human union. One leads to the other. It's a real pipeline.
Solidarity from here to beyond.
Until now, well, see, their thing is incorporeality, they say at the end of every meeting, because they're not quite solid. You see, it was a joke. Okay, until next time, as always, our super secret Dark Council members only sign off line. Trust the moon, Space Gal, Jill.